And to details. On the occasion marking the birth anniversary of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi attended on Wednesday a celebration organized by the Ministry of Religious Endowment, during which he reiterated that correcting the misconception of Islam topped the state's priorities and stressed the significance of integrating all state efforts to build a moderate character capable of facing challenges. The head of state appealed for an end to Prophet Muhammad being the target of insults in the name of free speech, noting the people have the right to express what they have in mind, but said he supposed this stops when the feelings of more than 1.5 billion Muslims are hurt. Details.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi attended today a celebration marking the birth of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, which was organized by the Ministry of Religious Endowments at the Panorama Conference Center in the 5th Settlement. The celebration was attended by Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, Sheikh Ahmed al-Tayyib, Mufti of the Republic, Shawqi Alam, Minister of Religious Endowment, Muhammad Mukhtar Gum'a, in addition to a number of ministers and senior officials. Addressing the attendees, the President asserted that the celebration recall all meetings of mercy in Islam, adding that Islam is based on construction principles, not destruction. President al-Sisi reiterated that correcting the misconception of Islam topped the state's priorities. The head of state stressed the significance of integrating all efforts of religious, educational and media institutions to build a moderate character capable of facing actual challenges. The President appealed for an end to the Prophet Muhammad being the target of insults in the name of free speech. He said people have the right to express what they have in mind, but said he is supposed that this stops when the feelings of more than 1.5 billion Muslims are hurt. The President said that to insult the Prophet amounts to underestimating the religious beliefs of many people. For his part, Tayyib called the international society to legislate against discrimination and insulting religions. He condemned the offense against Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, especially when it comes from countries claiming to have culture and civilization. Tayyib dedicated an international competition on morals of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, during the celebration. The minister gifted the head of state 2 newly published religious books. Gum'a commended the President on his stance against terrorism, warning against what he described as fourth-generation warfare. During the celebration, President al-Sisi honored a number of distinguished religious scholars.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi congratulated the Islamic nation on the occasion of Prophet Muhammad's birth anniversary in a tweet on a president's social media account. President al-Sisi wrote that the occasion represents a great example of infinity, human liberty and an idol for honesty, commitment and sacrifice. The president hoped all people to be inspired by a strong will and patience on this day. Al-Sisi also wished that peace, security and stability prevail all over the country.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi exchanged congratulatory cables on Wednesday with Arab and Islamic leaders on the occasion marking the birth anniversary of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. In his messages, President al-Sisi expressed sincere greetings and reiterated that the celebration recalls all high principles and values in Islam. He asserted that Islam encourages to follow a moderate concept which protects the nation from extremism and spreads peace and security. The President also congratulated Egyptian expats across the world, wishing them success and for Egypt and the Islamic nation prosperity, peace and progress. Meanwhile, the head of state received congratulatory messages from high-ranked state officials.
Also Wednesday, President al-Sisi followed up on the executive status of the Siwa Oasis development projects, promoting and protecting beaches of the Northern Delta and Port Said. This came during the President's meeting with the Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, Minister of Irrigation and Water Resources Muhammad Abdel Ati, Minister of Housing and Urban Communities Asim Al-Ghazzar, Minister of Agriculture and Land Reclamation Al-Sayyid Al-Qasir, and the head of the Armed Forces Engineering Authority Ihab Al-Far, as well as the head of the Armed Forces Financial Affairs Authority Ahmed Al-Shazli. The meeting also probed the establishment of a sewage treatment stations to supply cultivating lands and projects with irrigation water. Presidential spokesman Ambassador Bassam Radi said that the meeting tackled ongoing joint developmental efforts between the irrigation and cultivation sectors, as well as other authorities for a number of projects at the state's level. President Sisi reviewed the efforts to establish infrastructure of a number of national projects, especially developing sewer oases in the Western Desert, giving his instructions to finalize the projects within a comprehensive and fundamental framework that preserves its unique heritage. The President also directed to promote natural lakes, wells and groundwater with the aim of enhancing the economic and investing value of the sewer oasis and propagating it as a unique touristic destination. He directed to allocate funds and financial resources to complete reconstructional studies for these projects according to the highest environmental and engineering criteria. President Sisi also reviewed the latest developments of a number of projects being carried out by the Armed Forces Engineering Authority at the state's level, especially at the new administrative capital, including the diplomatic district, in which the President gave his directives to supply it with all the services and social activities.
Foreign Minister Sameh Shukri holds talks with Russian officials on bilateral ties and regional issues of mutual concern on Wednesday. The talks center on coordination between the two countries regarding ongoing efforts to revive the Middle East peace process, in addition to the current situation in Libya, Syria, Lebanon and Yemen. The top diplomat is expected to meet with Russian Minister of Industry and Trade Denis Manturov and General Secretary of Russian National Security Council Nikolai Patrushev. Shukri will also meet with the head of Foreign Relations Committee at the State Duma, plus a number of senior Russian political officials.